Hey everyone, it's Eric Silvermoon. This is, I believe, diary entry 4. Today is December 26th, 2017. It's a day right after Christmas. So, for those that I haven't seen and heard from, Blessed Yule for those that celebrated Yule, and Merry Christmas for those that just celebrated Christmas. Today is the first day that I feel okay, like my body's getting better. I was having the worst either cold or flu. I was so sick during the transition of moving. I just moved. This is the new house that I'm in. And I was literally moving heavy things in a full blown fever, cold sweat, body aches. It was awful. I literally thought, and this is not being dramatic, I really thought I was going to die because I almost fainted because I got so lightheaded and it was just awful, but it needed to be done and I survived it. Sorry. And so I'm getting like the last little bits of that like residual like sore throat a little bit, but other than that I think I feel good, and hopefully just kind of progresses. And I feel like that coldness and all these transitions that was going on, it was just my body receiving its upgrade, if that makes sense. And I feel like most of the damage in terms of most of where my illness, I felt the most pain was in my throat. So I took that as a symbolism for my voice, my truth, my most of my power of how I communicate is going to get the major upgrade. So either most likely because I've been getting back into some toxic behaviors, even with smoking, which I haven't smoked it on a couple weeks, even just like kind of like toxic self-talk and that stuff. It was creeping back, and I think now that my throat chakra has gone through an upgrade and healed and is in recovery, it gives me that opportunity to be like, well, my body just went through all this work of healing. Why would I go back to that and back to those like low vibrations and toxic behavior just to jeopardize this huge upgrade? So I do feel like my vocal cords feel stronger, which is great. So I'm like, yay, as I'm coughing. So we're in my bedroom right now, and the lighting's kind of changing and stuff because it's kind of getting cloudy outside. But this is kind of where I have my witchy stuff right now. I don't know if you could see. It's just a bunch of stuff. I had to downsize a lot. However, it's bigger than the space that I have. I mean, it's not like my own witchy room anymore like I used to have. But it's just kind of, it just kind of works, and it's right where my bed's at in the floor, because our bed comes in on this Thursday, and then Milo's right there and all his blankets. Let's see if I can show him. He's sleeping. The baby's sleeping. Oh, I woke him up. I'm sorry, baby. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. And so yeah, so I just kind of wanted to talk and say hello, because I've been out, these past couple of weeks being sick and trying to move and figure all this stuff out. I did pull a card this morning. It is the Five of Swords. Not sure if you could see it very well. And Five of Swords for me, it's all about, it feels like competition or trying to be the best at something, get recognition for it. Or it's even like a card of survival, of make it or break it, and trying to figure out who you are and trying to figure out your voice and all that. When it comes to swords, it's all about ideas and thoughts. And so for me, I don't feel necessarily that the energy is about competition or trying to be better than anybody else. I think this is all an internal battle for me, based on everything that I've been wanting to do. Even with this new channel, of trying to figure that out, if I even want to keep it, or if it's something that I still feel like maybe there's something I need to vocalize, like in the YouTube community. Or, am I old enough where I feel like I just need to put that behind me? Like, these are the thoughts and the things that I'm going through. So in that internal battle of going, well, what is it? What am I supposed to do? The same thing with my practice, and things that I like in my personal life, and which one's going to get the limelight, how much of my attention is going to where. I feel like that's what this energy is coming of, that kind of battle of like, what are you planning to do? How are you going to balance? How can you balance everything? And I don't necessarily know with my personality and the way that I am, if I can multitask all those things. I feel like I can only focus on one thing at a time and to be able to give it 100%. And, right now, I wanted to find a new grasp in my witchy practice and my spiritual practice, because I felt like it was going downhill and I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I wasn't really inspired by anything. And it's slowly coming back. Like, I feel like that witchy candle is slowly being rekindled and relit. And I want to go back to restructuring my practice with everything that I've learned, everything that I've already have experienced. And I feel like now God's telling me to put it into a structural practice, because I can honestly say that I do not have enough experience in a particular field, because my personality is so chaotic and so random that I go with anything that distracts me, that's shiny and pretty, and I just try and I do that, but then I change very quickly. So I don't have enough experience in every single thing, because I'm constantly trying new things. And so I think at this time here in my 30s, which in your 30s normally is when you start actually honing in on certain things in your life and perfecting them, so that when you get older, you have accomplished something. Because in your 20s, you try a lot of stuff, and that's kind of how it is. And I think that, if that makes sense for me, I'm not sure if it makes sense for you guys, but that's kind of what I feel. Like, I'm 32, 2018 is coming, I'll be 33. 3 is going to be huge. Number 3s are very sacred for me. It's about ascended masters, about teaching, about knowledge and wisdom, sacred geometry. I mean, 3s are very powerful for witches in general. So being 33 next year, I'm hoping that there's going to be huge, epic aha moments and life transitions. And it feels like it's going to be such an epic year, because this year has been kind of building up to something wonderful. Compared to like 2016 was a shit year. I hated it. It was awful. So 2017 definitely like started off with the bang. It ended very well with these new transitions and stuff, and I'm excited for it. I got to experience and experiment a lot this year. So I'm so grateful for all these different opportunities, all these different people that I've met. I got to really self-express myself in the divine masculine and experiment and express myself with my with nudity and being around with other men in the gay community, which has been awesome. And even though I've kind of like been in the low down, or not the low down, but the kind of like in hibernation, I guess, if you say, because I've been trying to figure out this moving stuff and I'm being sick. I kind of want to start going back into that process. And so that's what's been kind of going on. And so there's definitely 5 of Swords energy going on in my house and in my head, trying to figure out all these different thoughts and what's going to prevail in that sense. And so, but I have to kind of figure everything out, because everything's kind of in like a mess, and I just have like random stuff everywhere, and like all these candles that I have no idea what I'm gonna do and organize. And I have a lot of totes that I had to figure out, because I was like, okay, so I don't have to put everything out when that's witchy. The aesthetic in me and the witch in me wants to put like everything all over the place, even if I don't use it. But now I'm kind of like, okay, I had to minimize everything. Just keep the stuff that you're actually going to use in your practice, so that it's like a very nice kind of sacred space. It's organized, it's clean, it's easy to kind of keep organized, and you get to use the stuff. Even though like I box a lot of stuff, I still have a lot of things where it's really hard to let go of, because I like seeing them there. But at the same time, it's like I don't have room and I don't actually get to use it in my practice. So that's why I'm structuring my practice these next couple months, so that come next year, I'm utilizing everything to the fullest, to what I'm supposed to do. So kind of going back, I was talking about of getting to use everything that I've experienced and put it into work. I have like this little journal that I created, like my travel grimoire. Nothing really special about it in terms of like visual, even though like you guys know me, I have to kind of keep it somewhat visual for me. But it's not major art. It's not like paintings or anything. It's just my normal writing, nothing fancy with the writing, because I just needed to get all this in paper in a structural format in this little travel grimoire because I need it to be so I'm able to use it and not so much as an art project. And so I'm just writing notes. I'm expecting it not to look perfect. I'm expecting it to have mistakes, to have things that I don't want in it, and then changing it later. I'm trying not to overthink it right now based on just how I usually am. I overthink everything and then I psych myself out and then I don't do it. So this is definitely the year, and I'm dedicating 2018 for the year of consistency, the year of, what did I say? I said consistency. What was the other word? It was like 3 C's. I have to write it down. I wrote it down somewhere, but it was like consistency. It was, I think it was communication and something. I don't know. I'll probably mention it later. But anyways, consistency is the number one thing because I'm not consistent in my practice. And that's what I wanted to, for sure, to be consistent so that I'm able to start that experience. Because even like, like when people say like, oh, I've been a witch for 20 years and I've been a witch for 50 years, but they don't have any experience. That's kind of how I feel because I've been doing magic since I was 14, but that doesn't mean anything because I haven't really put in the work. And I'm not saying that's, for me, that's bad or I've been a bad witch, but, I want to definitely be able to have a more in-depth experience in my practice rather than having a lot of random little experiences, but not really getting a, if you want to say like a scientific, I guess experience with it, like actual trials and errors and stuff like that. Like I just have a lot of experience of like, oh yeah, that I tried that was cool, I like that, and I tried this and this and this, but never for like a length period of time where you could actually develop some kind of experience, which I keep saying that word. But anyways, that's kind of how what I've been through and what I've been going on, and hopefully the next couple of months I'll be really able to structure something. And the New Year's coming up, which normally for New Year's I just decide what I want to plan for the next year, but don't actually start doing it right off the bat because these are still the hibernating months, people. Like, this is why you get off that bandwagon, that New Year's bandwagon, because you're not supposed to start working out and doing all this stuff right off the bat. That's like springtime. That's like March and April when you actually start doing it. So December, January, and February, they're still winter months. Your body still needs to be recovering and your spirit still needs to be in these transitions and it's still hibernating and it needs to recover and build up its strength. And so this is a time for vision boards, to start writing goals, to journaling, to figuring out what it is that you want to experience and manifest for 2018 while you're in 2018. So you kind of feel out the energy of like how the year's feeling so far, if this is going to resonate with this year. Then come March and April, you're giving it all your strength rather than giving up during that time. So come June, July, for most of us, it's always fitness goals and health goals. So come June, July, your body should be awesome and ready to rock because you've been working and manifesting since March, April, May, and then June, you should be good to go. Rather than starting off January, February, and giving up in March. At least that's on my experience. And so that's kind of what I'm planning. So I do have a 2018 kind of like witchy, it was actually like a witch inspired agenda for the year, like a year journal, or what do they call it? It's just, it has all the months and you kind of plan out. It has the sabbats in it and the moon phases and astrology in it, which I really, really like. So I'm going to give that a try this year, this coming year, and plan out my sabbats and really get an opportunity to take those days off and do a ritual, because I don't always get to do a ritual. So my goal this year is to actually do very epic witchy things with witchy people and not do them by myself. So it's gonna be a challenge, but I'm definitely gonna see how this goes. So before this video becomes any longer, thank you guys so much for your love and support. I always mention that because I always want to just say thank you for all those who watch and who's been watching and has joined me for all these years on YouTube since 2012. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Blessed, I wasn't say blessed Yule, but a Yule already passed. But yeah, happy Yule, Merry Christmas, and I will see you hopefully before the new year. If not, then I'll post after the new year, just kind of keep you updated with everything. But blessed be you guys.